पितृभ्यां नमः स्वधा कुल पितृभ्यां नमः स्वधा सर्वकुल पितृभ्यां नमः स्वधा जान जाए पितृभ्यां नमः स्वधा सर्व जान जाए पितृभ्यां नमः स्वधा तो ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गदेवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गदेवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गदेवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम विश्वानिदेव सवितरुर्वीटान् पराशुयात् भद्रं तनासु स्वाहा हिरण्यगर्भः समवर्तताग्रे भूतस्य जाता प्रतिरेकयासि सदाधार प्रतिबिम्बियां प्रेमं तस्मै देवाय विशालगम ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा श्री लक्ष्मीभ्यां नमः स्वाहा शिवः सरस्वत्यै नमः स्वाहा ओम हनुमताय नमः स्वाहा श्री सदाशिवाय नमः स्वाहा धूम दुर्गा नमः स्वाहा महागौरीदेव्यै नमः स्वाहा सर्वे देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा सर्वे देवीभ्यां नमः स्वाहा सर्वे ऋषिभ्यो नमः स्वाहा सर्वे ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा सर्वपितृभ्यां नमः स्वाहा सर्वं वै पुनर्गं स्वाहा सर्वं वै पुनर्गं स्वाहा सर्वं वै पुनर्गं स्वाहा this one काम कर दे काम कर दो काम
Mobiles.
Who go fetch the bill, Carlin?
3 mobiles.
Wait, only who fetch?
You not go?
No, it's wait. Who go fetch you now? Venka.
Justin and
Call Venka.
What did they get? Andrew and Justin?
Venkat.
Call Andrew. Andrew where?
Venkat, Andrew. Bokure.
Come, baby. So you need two. You need 3 more then. We'll go fetch the casket them.
Gino, you don't go there.
Huh?
Call them.
Oh, call Dave. Call Dave. Not Vishal. Call Dave. Dave and Venka.
Bokure.
Where Bokure?
You have to go issue.
You will be fetching the casket. And you will be hoping. What? Boko go fetch where he get.
They're not there. Hey, come back here.
That's okay. We just need one more person.
One more.
No, they're not come.
More coming then.
More come.
Issues. All right then.
Come here.
When we have to make the pump stop, right? And to go wrong, it might be a little difficult. So we're gonna do those inside.
Call one of them.
Who?
Call one of them administrator.
You need your another guy?
Gino, you not. People gonna call. Why you going? We gonna look after that.
Or somebody who in charge of the place.
Somebody
Okay,
who in charge.
Shoshana call them. No, he not. It's okay. They have enough. Yeah. They buy them that day. He will be supposed to do. I don't know where they are.
You will need them in a care of the casket. Text them, start texting them, Andrew. If I want to fetch up Andrew and Justin.
Trishana, we got it. Trishana, we got it.
Tell Jen is gonna go get him. Both of them need to be here because they're supposed to be living, right? After, so.
Oh, she already got one.
Yeah. Text them and tell them to be here. And Justin,
Come, we
Andrew,
gotta
they
go
need to
back.
be here.
Wait, pull this thing back. Move this thing back. You got to move. Okay. Trishana, wait, they got to go around this thing, so you got to move.
push this over here if
Okay.
you'd like, and then you can stand in front of it
Yeah.
instead of standing behind it. I don't know whether I'll need it later, but
Yeah, thank you.
प्रजन्ताय पुनर्यस्य जीवलोकं सुविधात्रौ पुनर्जन्म चरन्ते लोकगोपतिष्वं वयपितं जुषस्व स्वर्ग्यं लोक दिवे देवेभ्यं नमः ॐ उषतस्वेरे समिधा धीमहि उष्णस्तवा पितृमविष्यथावे ॐ ये प्रधनेषु सोम्यसो आकेभ्य दिवैर्ष्यं देवस्य पूजयं देवश्च प्रतिगृहन्तु ॐ विन्दमर्पितमिदं दिवेभ्यो इदं नामः ॐ आकेभ्य देवस्य प्रतिगृहन्तु ॐ पिण्डमर्पितं दिवेभ्यो इदं नामः ॐ सौरभ्यः समहिता पवित्रपुणयस्य प्रतिगृहन्तु मे लोकमातरैरं नामः ॐ प्रजन्त परिदाय तोत्रवैत्रैकपालये Finish okay? Okay, one more time. This complete part.
Sit down. Bring a pillow.
I'm gonna go home.
Bring a pillow.
Now this here
I'm
represents
gonna go home back to the house.
you take a little bit of the right hand and with your round off such a thing.
Oh,
I'll go give you feet.
as we can see, I can see your face. Oh, Anita. You got to cry how much you cry when you got crying. Oh, I'm crying. I know you always cry, but you got to cry with feet. Cry with feet. How long will you live? You go cry. How long will you live? Go cry with feet. Made him lay to your feet. Talk to him. Lay to your feet to go on with your life.
पवित्र पूर्णयस्य गृहन्तु मे ग्रसंवस्य लोकमातरं भेदं
You're so sick. When you're sick, at last we can see him today. I never ever see by your face.
I know. No, no. You got to cry.
Oh, Jesus. Never see him again.
Yeah, dress up and punch it. Yeah, so you'll keep on cool, you know?
She wants some water.
You got water here?
Okay.
Let's see if she got drink some Chandra.
You go cry. But you got to sleep now. You don't get sick if you cry. So, oh, my. You don't go grab the bodies. Oh, my God. Oh, God.
No, she said she don't
I need to be gonna never see him again. I know, you know this. What you gonna say? I know.
Yeah, they soak some.
Oh, God. So I need to never imagine this day ever come. Never, ever, ever. So that parents are not supposed to be able to pick me.
Yeah, I know.
Like all that shit.
Supposed to. What are you gonna do? This bar down, men there for she.
I know.
She can got to face the essential life. When you're born, everything is set for you.
I know, girl.
Everything is set for what will happen to your life.
I imagine. Every day you don't miss every cause he never get involved with nobody, like everybody, like everything, treat everybody nice, talk nice to everybody. And don't do arty. Oh God. And then he come to this. Nothing for you. Andrew. Call Andrew. You and Justin and Boku for this side. And then go shoot. Fetch him. Yeah, but to fetch him, get Justin and get Boku. Oh God, we want to fetch equal. That's why I watch you are going.
Don't worry, no matter. You just relax. Don't have to worry about that. I know. So many people that I know.
Like all of them. Nothing like that. I don't know, Bob in the background, if you have a problem in job, or a problem with anybody, but you could have come and talk to someone.
Yeah, you should have come.
But you're not causing me here. But God is the very good.
Good people now live long. That's this. Families are gone early. Anybody who good person, they always gone early.
Oh my God, good. Huh?
You know me? You want to say good answer. No, she the big one. She the big one. Which one? Yes.
He should have been here and do for him. He should have do this. I can do it. I can do it for him. Anita, maybe a chance. Maybe this last one. I know, remember everything and then. But the jam they have. And when a jam they have, one big storm come. And if you see how my house start shaking, if you see how the window start, never take nothing. And so people can run for like the window, then the window goes to knock off. Just 3 weeks ago. When a child didn't do, he sit down the Friday to do a put of his body. He bought even at the 22nd of April and the 20 and the 26th we do. Something coming me to do work there, and this I think I have to do them things this week over there. So we bought even at Tuesday and this work to Saturday. And you sit down to do the put every Friday, every day. And Saturday I have the Jandy. And when a Jandy there midway, storm come. And if you see the window them on the house, I have to run for life before they go free.
Work inside. I have to move the work inside because of the rain and storm.
You got to do them things, you got to do them works, and then you go do work more. Can you hear me at the back? My name is plan to do that.
What it was his mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters today as we gathered for the final send-off for Pradeep.
Give him the mic, tell him.
On his journey.
Go. Give him the mic. Pull it. I have him care about it.
Is it gonna move? See how far it is. I think something pulled out here. Car was open before. Yeah, it is here. Yeah. But I guess you gotta keep this on this one side.
Maybe. To here.
Yeah. as we've gathered for the final send-off of Pradeep on his journey, there are 16 sanskaras, and these 16 sanskaras, this is okay, they can hear me. The 16 sanskaras begins with the sanskaras we refer to as the transition points in life. When the soul entered the 5 elements of the body that we refer to as conception, that was the first transition, whereby the soul was able to move freely, and now it's confined to a body. Yeah. The next was the trimesters during pregnancy. When the child was separated from the mother, the umbilical cord was cut. Now the child have to depend on himself, because during pregnancy was drawing all the nutrients from the mother. Here is another transition point. When the ears was being pierced, again another transition point, reminding us that not everything that we hear we had to repeat. We have to be very selective and use our intelligence as to what is it that we're going to repeat, because we have to weigh the consequences of it. Is it going to be beneficial for the people around us, or is it going to be detrimental? If it's going to be beneficial, then we can repeat it. If not, then we keep it to ourselves. The next part of this transition was when we had our first meal. Again, it's a time when we are now going to be introduced to a lifelong of nourishing the body by ourselves. When we were introduced into formal education, that's when we had our Janeo. And Janeo is not only for men, Janeo is for female also, because it symbolizes and it signifies a commitment to making sure that we're educated. We've seen sometimes in our society whereby it is reiterated that it's only men who can get Janeo. You agree with me on that? It's not true. And I'll tell you why it's not true. During 9 months of pregnancy, where is a father for the 24/7, 9 months of pregnancy? Is he always there? Answer the question. He's not there, right? So all the education that the child receives, or most of it, is from whom? The mother. So she's not educated. What kind of education can she give to the child? After that, most of the time, the child spends with the mother, right? Except in the cases where the mother makes more money and the mother says, Dad, you're going to have to stay home and take care of the kid, right? But most of the time, the earliest days are spent with the mother. In our society, sometimes when a child runs into some difficulty, what do? Go talk to your mom. Now, if we don't educate her, how is she going to be able to influence this child in making proper decisions in life? How is she going to be able to do that? So education is for everybody. It's not for some people. And the child decides, I want to get married, and so Vivaha Sanskara. When we hit somewhere about 50, that's between 25 and 50, we would have accumulated all the wealth that we possibly can. What do? We start grooming our children, right? That stage is referred to as Vanaprastha. We start grooming our children to take over the wealth that we have accumulated, our assets and everything. And by the time we hit Sannyasin, which is about 75, we say, well, you guys can handle this. You can manage this well. It doesn't mean that we're signing over everything and we're moving off completely. But what we're doing is that we're living a life that is a little bit more detached. And we're saying, the children can handle this. It's time for me to focus on my well-being. Because I focus on my education, and as a child growing up, I built a great relationship with my parent. I tried building a family, but I realized from time to time when I have my problems, when I have my difficulties, even the people I most trusted, they are not always there for me. Isn't that true? And so we begin a life of self-reliance as we get older. Sometimes in our communities, you would hear somebody saying, you know, this child here that I'm taking care of, when I get older, and the song says it very clearly, Tujhe suraj kaho ya chanda, tujhe deep kaho ya tara, मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन जग में मेरा राज दुलारा. The father says, should I call you the sun? Should I call you the moon? You're such a bright influence in my life. And as I'm holding your hand today, teaching you to walk, maybe when I get older and I can't do it for myself, you become my walking stick, right? You might be the one that I have to hold on to move around. I might become dependent on you. And so we need to have a great relationship. And this is the kind of relationship that I have noticed within the short period of time that I'm within this family. Most of you have been there a very long time. Some of you are friends, some of you are relatives. But in my observation, Pradeep have done tremendously for himself. As a son, he have accomplished a lot. And those of you who can attest that if ever you needed some sort of assistance and you would have go to him, he would have been there for you. Isn't that so? So when we speak of the qualities of the divine and we notice much of those qualities exhibited within him, sometimes in life we have questions. Some of those questions can be answered immediately, and some of them take a much longer time to be answered. Sometimes it takes many lifetimes for those questions to be answered. And if you're playing a card game, what's the best hand? 4 aces, right? Not every time the card is being dealt you have 4 aces. So you have to play the hand the best way you know as it's dealt to you. And so different people will see things differently. We can all look at an object. For example, those of you who are looking at this flower, if I give you a pen and paper, and I ask over here to take a pen and paper and draw what is it that they see, you think the people in front here and the one at the side here is going to come back with the same picture? Why not? We all have different perspectives, right? We see things differently. And based on how it is that we see things, we have to learn to respect and appreciate each other. We have to be able to do that. Sometimes we have a tendency that we want everybody to fall in line and follow a few strict rules. And I often use this as an example. When we're doing the hawan, what's the best way to hold a spoon? By the handle, right? Sometimes I'm supposed to be the one who knows best, and I would tell somebody, turn the spoon around. And then I would have a lot of arguments. But Panditji, that's not the way to hold a spoon. Why I do it is that the first 2 swaha that they dip, they're taking a full spoon and they're putting it in, and I have 100 swaha, 100 mantras. And if they keep doing that, then they might have to go all the way to Liberty to get some more ghee, right? Or someplace else. So if I tell them to turn it around, it's about what works in that moment and what's efficient. So they can throw as much as they want from the handle, and they will still have enough left in the container. So it's about what works. Sometimes we want things to be clear-cut in black and white as we've been taught, but it's not that way. So we have to learn to respect everyone for who they are and their accomplishments. What we have done at the beginning of conception, there was space. And in that space, 2 elements were introduced. And those 2 elements were earth and fire. Earth and water. And when earth and water came together in space, the next element to be added was air. When air was added to that, then there was fire or heat. And so these 5 elements came alive because of the Atma that was placed within. At death, what happens? The first thing to leave was the Atma. When that left, just as how it was the last thing to enter, the first thing to leave, the next thing to leave right after that, what do you think that was? Which one of the elements? We started off with space, and then we had water and earth being added to it. Then air was added, then fire. So if the soul left first, what do you think the next element left? When you felt the body, it got cold, right? But one element had to leave before that to get cold, and that was air. Once the air left the body, then the body begins to get cold. The fire, the heat left right behind it. So then we only had 2 elements left occupying a third. And the 2 elements occupying the third was water and earth occupying space. The 5 stops that is usually being made when someone passes on is that we're saying just as how these 5 elements came together, we're dropping them off, because they have to go through the process of recycling again. And as they go through the process of recycling, that life force now that remains ever pure will go back to where it has come from. So one concern is left, and the concern is, when someone passes on, why all these rituals? Why all this spiritual technology? We didn't understand that they were spiritual technologies, so we call them rituals, for lack of a better word. But they're spiritual technologies. Mantras are sound vibrations that when uttered in a certain way, they create a certain reaction, scientifically, very highly scientific, that our atoms and our cells begins to vibrate in unison with those sound vibrations, sound energy, because we're all embodiment of energy. That which is not created nor destroyed, it remains ever existent. It just changes its form from time to time. And so, because of that, and I can prove to you how sound vibration works. Stand up. Aren't those sounds? And if I say that to you in this moment, won't you react to it? Some of you may take a little longer, but you do react to it, right? You stand. And that's sound. That's mantra in itself. Sound vibration. So when we recite these mantras, what we're doing is that we're creating a certain energy that on this journey going forward, anything that is not supposed to be on his journey needs to be moved aside. He is given a force to travel with, that as he travels, anything that becomes an obstacle cannot stand in his path. And this is why we're performing these spiritual technologies. They're technologies of other kind, but today we're focusing on a spiritual technology. This casket in itself, the family decided we want to get something to protect this body. But the real envelope that we're putting him in, because this body in itself will be consumed, what will remain is the spirit being. What will remain is the Atma, the soul. And we'll place that in an envelope. In that envelope, we have to put something else. If you have something valuable, you're posting someplace, what do you do with it? You make sure it's well protected, right? If it is not well protected, what happens? The package breaks, the contents fall apart, right? Can get lost, so we secure it. And we're securing it with our faith. We put on that envelope the address of the divine. And oftentimes when we have an envelope with something and we're sending it, there's something else that's required. What's it? You put an envelope, you put everything in it. It has to have the stamp, right? But that stamp have to be the right value, isn't that so?
Yes.
You send half of it in the stamp, what happened? It comes right back. So today, our love is the value of the stamp that we place there, that we're sending him off with. And we're asking that may he merge into oneness with the divine. Today I share with you a verse from Ramcharitamanas that says, Bare bhagyama nushatan pava Sura duralabh sab grantan gava Sadhan dham moksha kar dwara Pahi na jahi paraloka savara Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. In that verse it says that we have gone through 8,400,000 species of life forms in order to attain this human one. Again, scientifically you can go and you can look that up and the number is correct. That much life form we have. When we would attain the highest form, which is this human being, we now have to decide what is it that we're going to do with it as a human being. A dog, a cat, another animal, there's a beginning line, there's an end line. What is the end line for a human being? What is it that we're capable of achieving, and what is it that we choose to achieve? Most of the time in our communities, in our families, every time we set out to do something, and most of you can give testimony to this, every time we set out to do something, somebody comes along and say what? You can't do it, right? But have anybody ever told you what is it that you can do? They wait until you do something and then they say what? Don't do it. You shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. But if someone had taken the time to explore our possibilities and say, well, this, and this you can achieve, or there is no limit to what you can achieve, then there is so much more that we would have been striving for. Much of us, what we have done is that we have focused so much on our academic education. Why? Because as soon as we get an academic education, what do we want after that? A job, to become a slave to somebody else. And we're going to go through that cycle day after day until we retire. By raise of hands, how many of you are happy with your job? Just be honest. A few people, right? The rest of people, you're working for what? Just to pay the bills, right? Imagine you're working 8 hours and you're not happy. Some of us, we work 12, 16 hours, right? And imagine we're working so many hours and we're not happy. What we're actually saying, for the whole day we're not happy, this accumulated all these days become of a lifetime of unhappiness. And then we're still striving for happiness. Forget about the body here. Forget about why we're here. Are you pleased with yourself? Are you happy in this moment? And you're in a funeral home too. And you're saying that I'm happy. I'm comfortable with myself. I'm happy in this moment. Yes, we've come here for a purpose. But we're happy, and I don't see anybody's money. I don't see your car. I don't see your house. I don't see any of your material possession. But you're saying that you're happy here. So happiness resides with you 24/7. Last night I said that we all have something called choice. We can choose to be happy, or we can choose to be unhappy. When we come into contact with others, we can choose to smile, or we can choose to put on a long face. And no matter how that long face is, no matter how much makeup you put on it, it is not going to change it. Isn't that so? A simple thing as a smile makes a huge difference. A little moment that we spend with others make a huge difference. And I'm going to invite Trishana. I know last night she was debating as to whether she should do her eulogy last night or she should do it today. But there are a few things, a few sentiments and values that she holds dear that she wants to share with you about her brother. You ready for that? You walk for the paper? Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Sitaram. I was getting there. Sitaram. Today I stand before you with the heaviest heart. A heart full of sorrow, but also full of love. Love, memories, and deep gratitude for having had Pradeep as my brother. Pradeep Singh was born on April 22nd, 1993, and departed this world on May 24th, 2025, at the age of 32. It feels far too soon, yet in that time he lived a life of strength and brilliance and touched everyone who truly knew him. Our parents came from Guyana with dreams in their hearts to build a better life, to start a family, to give us opportunities they never had. Pradeep and I were that dream. From the very beginning, he carried wisdom, even as a baby. He was soft-spoken, observant, and never one to cry for no reason. He took in the world with watchful eyes and a steady heart. Pradeep was born in the Bronx. He was always surrounded by many aunts, uncles, and loving cousins, sharing many unforgettable memories amongst them. As he got older, our family moved to Queens, and that is where Pradeep was then brought up and began his educational journey. He excelled in school, not just academically, but as someone who lived with integrity and patience. He graduated from Pace University with a degree in accounting, a field that matched his sharp mind and love for order. He was the kind of person who remembered your birthday, helped you with anything you needed, and still managed to make you laugh on your worst days. He didn't need the spotlight. He found his place in the quiet, in the showing up, in the being dependable, in being love in the most humble form. In Hinduism, we believe the Atma, the soul, is eternal. The Bhagavad Gita tells us, just as a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new bodies, giving up the old and worn out ones. Pradeep's soul continues his journey, and his journey is not over. This life was one chapter in the great cycle of samsara. And I believe that even now he is being gently guided by the divine toward peace, understanding, and eventually liberation towards moksha. We will perform the proper rites with hope that his soul is at peace and he is embraced by ancestors and that the gods, particularly Lord Vishnu, the preserver, please hold him safely in his next steps. Pradeep, you were so loved, more than you knew. You are still loved. May your soul find peace, may your pain be lifted, and may we live the rest of our lives in your memory with more compassion, more patience, and more love for each other. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roshana, for sharing those sentiments and values. And I'm pretty sure if I open the floor this morning and I ask you to come and say something about Pradeep, you're going to choose to say the good things, right? Isn't that so? Anybody want to say a bad thing about Pradeep? Put your hand up. That's something we do not wait until somebody dies to do. Every single day as we come into contact with the people around us, if we can be able to find the good within them and keep highlighting it. You know, when I was going to school, and most of you do the same thing, as you're reading, if you come across something important, what do? Highlight it. That every time you flip the pages of that book, it must stand out to you. We must be able to do the same thing in the life of everybody. Find even a few good things within them, and those things we keep highlighting. That even if they themselves do not believe it, because we keep highlighting it, they want to live up to it. Today, let us be able to take this as an example. Some of his qualities, inculcate it into our lives, and that's how we'll preserve his memory going forward. Not only the good things that he would have done, but his good intent as well, of sharing, of caring, and all these great things. And let us be able to remember him by those things. Today, I want to invite you to the next chapter this morning, and that you'll come up here. You'll spend a few seconds, probably. You can take a little bit of samagri, since it's a cremation. You'll put it in a casket with your few words. And since, again, it's a cremation, all the wreaths, they're going to put someplace. They have been put there for him. So you can take the flowers and you can put it in the casket to go with him. So I now ask of you to stand as we offer this final prayer, after which you will come, you'll offer your samagri, you'll offer your flowers. This prayer is referred to as a Kshama Prarthana, or it's a prayer of forgiveness. That if we still hold anything against him or he holds anything against us, let us cross it out and make it null and void at this moment. Let only our good thoughts and intentions be with him. Om Shiva Hare Shiva Rama Sake Prabhu Trividata Panivarana He Vibhu Ajajaneshwara Yadhava Pahi Mam Shiva Hare Vijayam Kurume Varam. Om Namami Shamishana Nirvana Rupam Vibhum Vyapakam Brahmavira Swarupam Ajang Nirgunang Nirvikalpang Niryang Chirakasham Akashavasham Bhajeham Nirakaram Omkaram Ulanturiyang Giragyana Jyotitamisham Girisham Karalam Mahakala Kalam Kripalam Gunagara Sansara Param Natoham Tushara Drishankasha Gaurangabhira Manobhuta Koti Prabhashi Shariram Spuran Maulika Lolini Charu Gangala Shadvala Balindu Kante Bujanga Chalat Kundalambru Sunetram Vishalam Prasanana Nandila Kantam Daryalam Mrigadisha Charma Varamunda Malam Priyam Shankaram Sarvanatam Bajami Prachandam Prakrisham Pragalbham Paresham Akandam Jambhanu Koti Prakasham Trayashula Nirmulanam Shula Panim Bajeham Patim Bhavatim Bhavagamyam Kalatita Kalyana Kalpanta Kari Sarasa Janananda Data Purari Chidananda Sandoha Moha Pahari Prasidha Siddha Prabho Manmatari Nayava Numana Tapara Ravinde Bhajanti Haloke Pareva Naranam Natavat Sukham Shanti Shanta Paranasham Prasidha Prasidha Sarva Bhutari Vasham Najanamiyam Naiva Pujam Natoham Sara Sarvara Shambhutubhyam Jarajan Madukho Datata Pyamanam Prabho Pahiyapana Mahamisha Shambho Namami Shamishanam Nirvana Rupam Vibhum Vyapakam Brahmavira Swarupam Om Karat Sharan Kritam Va Kaya Jamva Karma Jamva Shayanan Jamva Manasam Va Paradham Vihitam Va Sarvameta Kshamaswa Jai Jai Karunabdhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Virase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Patiye Namaham Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Virvishavahe Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Om Anadhinidano Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundarikaksha Preta Moksha Prador Bhava Pret Moksha Prador Bhava. That may the soul achieve oneness with the divine. Hari Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. So I'll invite you to come. Somebody will be here with the samagri, and you can pick the flowers and you can put them into the casket.
So what we want is, we don't want anybody to go ahead of us down to the crematory.
Okay.
We want to go in procession, because if people go before us, we can't get the hearse in.
Okay.
Okay.
So I know that the family will take the casket out with me right to the hearse, right?
Okay. Yes.
All right?
And did you hear that? Okay, so I'll repeat it. As soon as you finish with the samagri, your flowers, you can go to your vehicle, and the immediate family, the boys probably, they're going to take the casket out to the back, where it will go into the hearse. The hearse will be the first vehicle in line, and they're going to pretty much guide you as to where is it that you have to go. When you get to the crematorium, because it's a small space, they have to be there before everybody else. So this is why they're asking that everybody should follow behind, and the horse should be leading the way.
This way, this way.
After the cremation, are we meeting somewhere?
On my house.
At the house, yeah.
I'll give you
And
the limo.
everybody is invited back to the home after the cremation, and that's 10 Crabapple Lane.
Yeah. Aren't you going to put some agabati inside too? There you go. Jerry, I put it inside.
I know.
You guys would have got to fill us now.
Chandra, give me the light, Makala. Sit down, sit down. This thing doing the wee, man. This thing, you really doing the wee. Jean. The Jean. Your sister Jean. I can't cry like that. Stop. No, we big Diddy come. Diddy Oma. Holy mass.
We have people here.
Oh, Diddy.
Okay, so you look. You're on the
Hi, hi, hi. Oh, you on the school of house? Yes, 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 baby. Here. God like the more of you. He gave you for a short time. And you want him to go. Okay? I know he born this hard. Hear me. He born this bitter. I know. Yeah, the Hello, masisi. Di mo mamay nala din. You know, hard to be.
That's okay. They need to be around.
Mine.
My two sisters.
Oh, me. I know.
Are you helping?
Oh, you guys sorry.
You have to be orderly. Like when you guys view, you need to leave so other people can get to come in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you cannot.
How me pick me? No, no, I know. Mama, how long you live your hard gabon? Nobody had my born like you. How bad?
No.
Oh, gee.
Come, Jean, to put a last soprano. I know, let's do. Maybe I want the phone. Never believe Pradeep, you left me. You were supposed to take care of me and meet all the people. All the time we just start down today, you go away. Oh my God, Pradeep. Pradeep, oh, you got come to, you got buy my fried rice and pick me up. Oh my God, come on, today you got. You're going so fast. So fast you're going. Oh my God, I'm going to get you.
Oh my God, I'm going to never see you again.
Oh, we can go back home. I know. You know, we have to pray for him. Pray for him. Give her more, give her more. Give her more. Come on. Oh my God.
This is all we can give you. This is all we can do for you. Nothing more.
If we could all place some flowers and then go to your vehicles and wait for the hearse to pull out.
Yeah, big car. Oh yes, every flower. Yeah, big car. Take car full of your casket. Because I get to toy and daddy. Pull it out. Put flower over together. Put all the flowers. Put flower. Put flower. Carry this with cheese. Hold this with cheese. Come on, you cost you come on, you body can go away left for you. Flowers, so you come. Thank you, we'll take care of you did a good job.
You want to sit down?
No, we only put a like my car and get you.
Mom, can you just pass out the flowers just because you'd like to put the flowers in the casket?
Oh, I see you thinking we're going to stay with it.
The family does ask if you can place a flower and go to your vehicle so we can try to get down to the crematory. We'll do have the service down there also at the crematory.
So just pass over.
Oh my God, Pradeep! Oh God!
She's right there. She's right there behind you.
Oh, why they carry him away? Don't carry him away. We never see him again. Oh God! Oh, no.
They're not Kara yet. They're not Kara yet.
Oh God!
They're not Kara yet. They're not Kara yet. They're not Kara.
Oh, don't take him away, oh God! Oh God!
Monty.
No more see the face again. No more. Oh, we're gonna see him again. Never. This time. Oh God.
We will see you.
Oh God, why you
Cry. You cry what you want.
Oh God. Oh God, why you do this for? Oh God, it's good that we could have
Come on.
Keep a line. Come on. Keep moving so we can make it in time, please.
You're supposed to be done by 12 o'clock. We have another service down at the crematory. Everyone, please place your flowers and go to your funeral.
God, oh.
You're one of them. Stay here.
Oh, let me see you out. Oh, God.
I should want to see him.
Sorry.
Gotta keep moving, folks. Gotta keep moving, okay?
Hey, Monty, I gotta move out from there now. Hey, Monty, you gotta move from there now.
Let me get up. Yeah. Oh, shit. My pants.
Have any difficulty going?
No, you go.
Mom, look at this stuff. We have to go. We all have to go. Let's go.
You'll be with me.
It's on. I think John turned it off. Let me get it on. Hang on.
Oh,
Okay. We'll see him once you You will get to.
Your family does.
You will get to. They won't close it. They won't close it yet. They won't close it yet.
Open your back for your seat.
You can open it back. Don't worry.
They
Don't
gotta
open it back.
take
Don't
it.
worry. You can open it back.
Excuse me.
You'll see him again. Don't worry. You will see him
Folks,
again.
if you pay your final respects, we're going to ask you please go to your vehicles.
You'll see him again. You'll see him again. You'll see him again.
Please go to your vehicles and get ready to go. If you pay your final respects, please go to your vehicles. Thank you so much.
You're gonna come this way with me. I just want to be there for you all the time. Maybe never just stay with you. Okay. You're gonna bring it to the limo, okay? Everybody else, I want to go.
Yeah? I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Folks, as we leave, I ask that you all stay behind the hearse. We go in procession, okay? So at this time, please head to your vehicles. Thank you so much.
I did, but I don't think Oh, Andrew's here. Andrew's here. Scott is up. Where's Scott? He's here. Then we have the entry. Just there. We have everybody. You can do it. You will see him again.
One more time.
No! That's for real! That's for real! I don't think so. No, that's not for real.
She has to go up.
That's not for real.
Sure, you not lift casket. Sure, you got to do
Yeah, we're going to
Okay,
who's going to pick up Eugene?
Close.
The car we're gonna bring.
The limo is right outside. They're taking a limo.
We're gonna get this.
We need to go with you.
Okay, come.
Come, we need to go with you. We go.
Come on, Auntie Chai's go.
You'll see him again. You'll see him again.
You'll see car.
You'll see him again. You'll see him again.
Alright, now wait. Uncle Para's got to live. Come, Auntie.
No, I'm not gonna lift. I'm going to quite my own.
Yes. Go on.
I get fired.
Hold her up.
Where do you live over there? Where do you live?
I go to the back door.
Oh, I got to wait.
Wait, you gotta wait till the hearse is
Wait, you gotta wait. Oh, you got to wait. We'll go with you.
Wait a little bit.
brothers. We can go
I
through
get
a
a
door.
little bit.
One on each end.
One on each end. Then we'll go through the door.
Oh, God.
So we need one here and one there.
Guys. Just one at the end and the back. That's it.
One on each end. I gotta go through this door. Come this way. It's on wheels. It's on wheels. Push.
Oh, we're push.
I'm going with That's okay. Now what about umbrella? I have things to cover, man. No,
Mama come in a minute. Honestly, that people come. We'll bring them back in the car. Let me see what we can do. We have to go.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just that.
my raincoat and throw these things into the, I'll go to the garage and throw these in the garbage if you like.
In the garbage.
That was the worst casket piece I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, one of them made, look at this, look at this. Holy cow.
I'll be back when we get the photo on. Oh, no, it went very well.
Yeah, it did. It's just there's way too many people. I mean, we ought to say to them, let's go to your temple.
Well, that's what one guy says.
What?
I said, don't you do large funerals? I said, well, most people, the Christians and the Jews do it at the, at the church and the temple. I said, usually they don't do this part here, and if they do, it's all on sheets where there's more room